Marriage over. Meghan's £50 million ultimatum is infuriating Harry. Where are Lily and Archie? Remember how I already told you there was so much appearing in the news today about Meghan looking for a £50 million payoff to walk away from the marriage? So it looks like the marriage is officially done. There is no doubt in my mind about that. They're not living together anymore. They are going in completely different directions when it comes to projects for the future. But most importantly, Harry has had more than one meeting with Nicholas Soames. Now that is Charles's right-hand man. He's trying to find a way back into the royal family without Meghan with him. It would certainly be an understatement to say the two of them are not such big fans of each other anymore. Quite the euphemism, in fact, to say that the two of them don't really like each other. Apparently now they cannot stand the sight of each other. I have heard this from so many different sources, all the way from journalists to royal household workers to Kensington Palace staff. I mean, we all saw it coming, but Harry apparently has been in a panic. He simply did not know how to explain away this scandal of two children who don't exist. I don't think it's very complicated, though. I'm going to say now what I believe has already been decided. Meghan is going to insist that the invisible kids remain with her, and this would give them a chance. This would let both of them off the hook. It would also give the royal family a chance to get away with their deceit. There's going to be nothing left to explain to the people of the UK, and no archofficial and Invisibet to see because they're going to be safely hidden away in the US. Another thing is that eventually the invisible kids are going to be quietly removed from the line of succession, but Meghan's going to be happy to go along with this deceit if she's paid enough money, which apparently is somewhere around £100 million, and also a watertight non-disclosure agreement that's going to prevent Harry and the royal family from going after her for the rest of her life. And apparently the big secret that they're trying to keep hidden is some tape of Harry in a pile with Marcus and some other guy. They're trying to keep that out of the media. Now, the palace has been lying and hiding and covering up for Harry for such a long time now. Apparently, there are a lot of underage girls that he would use drugs and alcohol with, and he would take advantage of them in Las Vegas. That's another big thing that they want to be safely hidden forever. Do you see, though, what happened with Andrew? I mean, Harry and Andrew, I'm afraid, are cut from the same cloth, corrupt and vile perverts. Well, except to Andrew's credit, at least, he never went after his own family. I think this is going to happen. I believe this news. People are going to say that Meghan can only claim half of what they have from a divorce, and they're going to say it doesn't have anything at all to do with Charles, so he doesn't need to pay. The fact is, I do not understand why anybody would think the royal family are going to pay Meghan 1 cent. Now, if Harry wants to get divorced, then it's just a matter of applying to the courts. Under the new no-fault divorce law, there is no longer a need to provide grounds for divorce, like adultery or unreasonable behavior or whatever. You only need to provide a simple statement to confirm that the marriage has broken down and that it cannot be fixed. It would also be a great idea to obtain a clean break financial order. So what this is a legally binding document that informs the court how you want to split your assets and money after the separation. And it's only your assets and money. You can't be dipping into anybody else's. This would ensure that the ex-partner can't come back and make claims on any money or assets that you acquire either during or after the marriage. This would include pension money or income or inheritance. Now, if Charles pays her a dime, he would only be causing more trouble for his own family. Because then people would say they must have something to hide if they are paying her. And then they would make all kinds of crazy speculations about what it could possibly be. Now, Meghan can issue threats as much as she wants to, but she's already proven herself to be quite the liar, and the fact that she lives in a fantasy world is not going to help her one bit. Not many people out there can believe a word that she says lately. So why should she be paid anything at all? It's not like she's got real kids to raise and support. They have made that obvious by the fact that the kids are invisible, and the only photos we have seen of the invisible children are fake or clearly photoshopped. Why can somebody not come out and expose the lies around the kids? And then it would finally be proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that Meghan and Harry are a couple of grifters. There are two people you should never try to negotiate with. Number 1, criminals, and number 2, blackmailers. If Meghan got any money from Charles, then she would still talk. It's not like that would actually shut her up. She would tell anybody and everybody whatever they wanted to know, even if it's a pack of lies. Now, Meghan knows the royals are always hesitant to sue, so she would spill the beans to anybody who would listen. And Harry got himself into this mess, so let him explain it away. In the meantime, I think the palace could safely sue that woman every time she opens her mouth. And as for the fake kids, well, that's pretty easy to explain. Now, a real lifelike doll was held in front of two very elderly people for a minute or two. These dolls, when you first look at them, you can't really distinguish them from real babies. And it is well recorded that Charles has never met either child. But unfortunately, it does appear that the royal family has gone along with this scam, and that makes them complicit to some degree. And definitely, Harry has tried to trick everybody when it comes to the kids. So how could they possibly accept Harry back as a working royal? Even if they do send him off to Africa with the truth coming out, I don't know that that's going to work. I'm afraid this is going to be very damaging for the royal family. They cannot have the people know about Harry's conspiracy to have his kids in the line of succession while they were born from a surrogate. I think King Charles is going to be happy to pay to have his son back, but I'm not sure about how Queen Camilla is going to feel, and I don't think Prince William's going to be happy about this arrangement at all. But my suspicion is they will agree to do it for the firm. So I guess he's going to pay whatever money he has to, because while it's just rumors, he's going to think it's going to disappear eventually, and that everybody will just forget all about it. This could be one of those cases where if Meghan goes down, then she's going to make sure the royal family goes down with her. Now, they have the money to withstand this, but Meghan doesn't. I think that she announced she was pregnant to force Harry into marriage. And I suspect the royal family eventually found out the truth. I mean, staff, I don't care who you are. Staff are known for talking amongst themselves, and they're going to protect the people they care about. And those people would have been the late Queen and Prince Philip. By the time the moon bumps started showing up, it was way too late to expose Meghan Markle. Exposing her would ruin Harry, and it seems like they have always tried to protect him. If I were the palace, I would probably start a counter-campaign, and I would start with releasing the super injunction about the moon bumps, and I would also release the results of the bullying reports if Meghan starts demanding money. And if I were the palace, I would request DNA, medical birth records, and their medical records. U.S. children always have shots that are required. I mean, if Meghan insists on keeping the kids and demanding child support, then I would demand all of those things from her. And I would include in the DNA clause that if any of her friends leaked any stories or said anything about the royal family or Meghan's life in the royal family, that all money coming her way would be canceled. And if she refuses to sign the NDA, then she wouldn't get a thing. Meghan is way too old, and she has such a bad reputation. She's not going to be able to attract anybody with real money. I think it would be ridiculous to pay Meghan Markle anything. I mean, why would this lying scammer be paid £100 million when that money could be spent in so many other ways? It could be spent helping families who are struggling just to put food on the table. I would lose a lot of respect for the king if he were to give in to this evil woman's demands. Harry was the one who got himself into this whole mess. He wouldn't listen to anybody's advice, so he needs to figure out this mess himself. In fact, if the king were to pay her money, that would be the same as a father-in-law paying a bribe to get rid of the troublesome daughter-in-law when the divorce is actually between his son and the daughter-in-law. It doesn't have a thing to do with him. A divorce settlement, after all, is between a lawfully wedded wife and husband. So why should the king get sucked into this settlement? He's not married to that evil witch. That nasty woman needs to not get a penny from the king. She is not allowed to profit from acting so awful over the last 4 years. It's important that she is not rewarded for being a horrible person and a criminal. It is not fair to negotiate with criminals and blackmailers. And if the king did pay her something just to get rid of her, then what is to stop her from jerking the chain later on and threatening to divulge secrets of the family if she's not paid more money to keep quiet? You can bet that she's going to keep on extorting the family even after an NDA. Meghan's not afraid of breaking that.